Thank you for joining us for the York County History Center's long-awaited groundbreaking ceremony. I'm Rebecca Countess, and I'm the board chair, and today we celebrate the protracted efforts to adapt a former steam plant building into an exceptionally dynamic, meaningful, and engaging museum, library, and archives. As many here are aware, this project has endured a number of twists, turns, and challenges, resulting in a highly anticipated project. And through it all, our community continued to support this new center as destination for city and county residents and visitors alike. We are immensely grateful for your wonderful support through the myriad of events over the past few years. Thank you. Knowing this is a Monday, we want to be mindful of your time while we celebrate this significant milestone. I want to quickly recognize a number of people who have joined us today. From the Central Regional Director for the Governor's Office, we have Grace Dunnigan. Grace? From Pennsylvania State Senator Kristen Phillips-Hill's office, we have Kirsten Laird. In the back. We have Pennsylvania State Representative Stan Saylor. From State Representative Carol Hill Evans' office, we have Bromley Martin. We have all three York County Commissioners here. We have President Commissioner Julie Wheeler, Commissioner Doug Hoke, and Commissioner Ron Smith. We have the CEA President and CEO, Kevin Schreiber. We have the York City Mayor, Michael Helfrich. We have representatives from Lewis Contractors, Warehouse Architects, and Barton Associates. We have our Capital Campaign Cabinet. Yes, give them a big round of applause, please. Our current and former York History Board members. Our absolutely wonderful York History staff. Give them a huge round. They do all the work. And the rest are our wonderful, generous contributors. Thank you. As I indicated earlier, everyone here played a part in bringing this project forward, especially our next two guests, Tony Campisi and Joe Crosswhite. Both played instrumental roles in our capital campaign, helping us raise over $10.5 million in private contributions. No small task. Recognizing that we want to be timely this morning, they flipped a coin over the internet to decide who would speak. Consequently, Tony will be sharing his thoughts about the campaign. Thank you, Tony.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. It's a delight to be here. And I also want to thank my co-chair, Joe Crosswhite, for agreeing to be, as he said, another pretty face in the crowd. And his graciousness in allowing me to highlight our very successful campaign. So, it's a delight to be here. Good morning to all of you. From the initial campaign kickoff, in June of 2017, that's right, June of 2017, until today, the York County History Center continues to advance this transformational project, which not only changes the landscape of downtown, but begins a new chapter in the history of our county. This journey to establish a destination for all residents and tourists will result in a gathering place to examine the history that shaped our community and, in some cases, this country. At every turn, the History Center involved community members, stakeholders, and historians in the process of transforming this building across the street. the steam plant. As a result, the capital campaign has been hugely successful, raising, as you've already heard, $10.5 million in private contributions, and in addition to that, $9.5 million in state RACP funding, and $1 million in York County funding through the ARPA funds, all of which we are tremendously grateful. So to date, the York County History Center has raised a total of $25 million for a project that is now a $28 million project. So yes, we still have some ground to cover in order to close a gap due to cost escalations that occurred toward the end of 2021. It's important to note here that throughout the planning process and through to this very day, the scope has remained consistent. So this escalation in costs is really related to materials, not to scope creep. So without question, the campaign's success rests squarely on the efforts of our campaign cabinet, the York County History Center staff, and of course, our community's incredible generosity. Each of you believes in the power of history as it connects past to present, illuminating our future. We're especially grateful for your support of this important project, bringing vitality, legacy, and meaning to our community. So again, on behalf of the York County History Center and our entire community, thank you all for your generosity and investment in this incredibly successful project. Thank you. Now I believe I have the pleasure of introducing one of our state representatives, Representative Stan Saylor, chairman of the, as you know, the House Appropriations Committee, and someone without whom the funding that we receive from the state would not have been possible. Representative Saylor.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to be here when the building opens, too, because I love history, and I love reading autobiographies and biographies of history, people who've made history. You know, I was just yesterday reminded of Teddy Roosevelt when he didn't just come up with the idea of national parks. Somebody invited him to go out west and hunt buffalo, and that's where he got the scheme to create national parks to protect the buffalo and other things. So, you know, I think sometimes, you know, when we talk about education, we talk about math and science and reading and all those kind of things. But to me, one of the most important things is history. Because the old saying, I think, goes something, if you forget history, you're bound to repeat it. And I think we in York County have a great history to be reminded of. History is not always pretty. It's kind of like politics. It's like making sausage sometimes, you know. But it's necessary. And I want to thank Tony and Joe and Rebecca and Joan. I've been on the phone so many times with Tony and Joan, I almost feel like they're family. But again, I'm proud to be here today for this historic event, and I really, really look forward to seeing York County's history in this building. So Joan, thank you so much. Next, I want to introduce our President and County Commissioners, Julie Wheeler, who I've gotten to know many, many years now. We won't go how far. But Julie and the Board of Commissioners have done a tremendous job for York County, and they need to be saluted for the way they've been moving York County forward. So with no further ado, Julie Wheeler, our great President and County Commissioner.
Thanks, Dan. Good morning, everyone. I also want to take this opportunity to recognize Betsy Buckingham. She's another elected official here from City Council, so thank her for joining today as well. And I also want to echo what Tony said to Stan. Without Stan's support and getting the funding from the state, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you again very much, Representative Saylor. It's my great pleasure to join you here today representing the people of York County on this important day, really, of celebration. The York County History Center is a critical partner in our community, helping us all to remember and learn about our shared past, giving us the opportunity to fellowship in the present, and allowing us to share a preview of the great things that are yet to come in our future. This new campus will stand as a nexus of generations and cultures. It will serve as an important place for our community to create shared experiences and have meaningful conversations with each other, one that is reflective of our storied and diverse history. It will bolster the economic vitality of our shops, restaurants, and other businesses so that we may always continue to grow and evolve as a community. The History Center provides tremendous value not only to our local communities, both large and small, but to the many visitors whose journeys bring them to York County. The county believed in the economic potential this new center will bring and made an investment of $1 million using ARPA funding to create substantial cultural and economic benefits for years to come. I look forward to watching our community explore not only the beautiful campus, but our community's special place in history, from farmland to fast lane, from the birth of a nation to today. Again, thank you to the History Center, to the board, volunteers, for all the great work that you do to build a better York County, and for allowing us to contribute to your mission. So thank you. And I get the privilege to introduce this next person. I think most of us do know us here. You certainly can't miss him from his hair. So it gives me pleasure to introduce Kevin Schreiber, CEO and President of the York County Economic Alliance.
Thanks, Julie. She's just saying that because she knows these hard hats are going to mess with that hair in a little bit. And so does the humidity. What a gorgeous day. Hey, happy Monday, everyone. What a way to kick off the week when we can do it in celebration of this very, very historic project and historic day for the History Center. And there is little more than I can say that has not already been said, but for, I think, all of us here, the innumerable many who aren't here with us, can say it would not be possible for us to celebrate today without the fortitude and perseverance of Joan Mummer. I am sure everyone in this room has been on the receiving end of phone calls from Joan. I'm sure Chairman Saylor has, Tony and Joe. Everyone has, but we are here today to celebrate the History Center, this monumental project and significant milestone in the History Center's long lifespan of the past of York County and certainly in the future. So this has such a tremendous impact on our community, not just from the immediate jobs and the millions of dollars that will be spent here in construction right behind us. Obviously, that is a tremendous benefit, but also the benefit to come in tourism, in education, in truly building out that envisioned campus that Joan and many others have talked about for many years. So it is just an exciting opportunity to celebrate with everyone today, and certainly to break some ground. And incidentally, these are the nicest groundbreaking flower beds that I've ever seen. But I just want to say congratulations, Joan. Congratulations to the History Center. Congratulations to the Capital Campaign Committee and all of the individuals who have served to get us to this point. And I'm just looking at Laura Guerreri, too. How awesome is this going to be for tourism for downtown York? So this is a consequential project for the county and consequential for the city. And it is my honor to introduce our next speaker, our Mayor of York City. He is a Capricorn, and his favorite ice cream is chocolate peanut butter. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Michael Helfrich. Who didn't come, you are in period attire, period to the day.
Today's period attire, yeah. Pisces, by the way. Always Pisces. So, as always, when following Kevin, I feel like I'm following the cheerleading squad, and now you get stuck with the history professor. Sorry. But I did want to share a little bit about my history with the Historical Society back in the day, 1976, inspired by the bicentennial. At 6 years old, my mom brought me in to look through those card catalogs of people's names to try and trace our family tree. So the York County History Center has been giving to me since I was this big, and hearts to you too, John. Thank you. And so I do want to thank you and all the staff and everybody that has been supporting and maintaining York's history for so many years. This is, as everybody knows, knowing your history is how you know yourself. And the choice of this location is just amazing. So I want to walk you through something real quick. I hope I don't take too much time. But if you didn't know, this block of Philadelphia Street here is the block where the most original buildings exist of early or late 18th century, early 19th century buildings in a contiguous block. You have 8 buildings right here that predate 1810. 5 buildings that were here when Continental Congress, or during the Revolutionary War, including 1760s, the Quaker Meeting House, where the Quakers met together to help establish their role in the Underground Railroad. You have the Plow Tavern, where very early missionaries came and met there before they went out into wild lands like the Bermuda Springs and out into Hanover and these places that were the wild frontier in the 1740s. You have the First Capital Dispensing Company, which underneath all that facade is actually a 1770s log cabin. All of these amazing buildings, and now that the History Center is right here, it's just going to be so easy to walk people through the different layers of America's early history. So you just could not have picked a better place. So I want to thank everybody involved, the selection team, everybody that's been working from the beginning on this. And I do have to ask one thing. Today's my mom's birthday, and I just got off the phone with her. She only had one question about the opening of the new center, and that is, are they going to have ice cream on Mother's Day? So are they going to continue the tradition for the Mother's Day street fair of having ice cream available?
For her, we will.
For my mom, we will. Okay, thank you very much. Well, congratulations. This is an amazing day, and as always, anything we can do to help. This is the cornerstone of a New York, of the new Old York, the Little York. So thank you, everyone. And I did not look. Oh, Tyler. My new neighbor over here, Tyler Tate, is our next speaker from Stewart and Tate.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. My name's Tyler Tate, and I'm president of Lewis Contractors. I'm a third-generation builder and a native of York County. And so you can imagine, what a thrill it is to be here today, taking part in this incredible project. If you were to look on the Philadelphia Street side of the complex, you'd see a sign bearing the twin logos of Stewart and Tate and Lewis Contractors. Lewis is a part of Stewart and Tate. It is our family's construction team in Maryland, where we practice, among other things, a unique skill set in constructing museums and saving old places. Even better when we can do both on the same project. Our team comprises a mix of York County and Baltimore County residents, and if it's okay, I'd like to acknowledge them. Back there in the red shirt is Mr. George Wilk. He's our site superintendent. This is George's site. Next to him in the gray is Sean Amberman, and he's our vice president and project manager, and he works side by side with Cynthia Spence, who is standing next to him, and they manage the business and supply side of this project. And the man in the blue is Matt Dietz. He's the estimator who was responsible for putting the budgets together for this project. So thank you, Matt. Now, our team partners with the good people at Warehouse Architects, and I saw Aaron Himmelberger here, and Don Weller as well, are our two architectural representatives, among many members of the design team. Also, Greg Koussis and Fred Cluck of Capital Construction Management. They're the owner's representatives and have been wonderful partners. Behind this leadership team are hundreds of on-site craftsmen, mechanics, workers, laborers, operators from dozens of trades and specialties who have or will contribute to the work of this project. And frankly, if you consider the folks manning the manufacturing lines and the supply houses and the distribution centers, it's not unreasonable to say that well in excess of 1,000 people are going to touch this project with their hands and minds by the time we're all said and done, which is a wonderful testament to what we're trying to accomplish here. All told, it's quite an operation, transforming a place like this, and it's a tremendous privilege. For the Stewart, Gilbert, and Tate families and the incredible people with whom we work, this is, at its core, what it's all about. It's a privilege to take our vocation and apply it to projects of great meaning, projects of great impact, projects for which we can work alongside talented colleagues and change our home. We're grateful to do our small part in recognizing this vision and the promise of this exciting project. So it's the leadership of Joan Mummer, Rebecca Countess, Tony Campisi, Joe Crosswhite, the YCHC board, all of the individual, foundational, and of course public sector supporters that makes a transformation like this possible. So we owe them our hearty thanks indeed. Now, much work lies ahead. And it'll be an exciting year ahead. It's one that we really look forward to, putting our hearts and hands and minds to work to render this transformation and deliver an exciting project. So thank you for everything. Now, it's my privilege to introduce my boss, Joan Mummer, my customer, for her remarks. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tyler. And thank you to all of our speakers today. Each of you have eloquently captured our goals and the importance of our shared history and culture that shapes us. Wow. And as this crowd knows, our county has an extensive array of history. So much so that our exhibit designers quipped, "What isn't made in York County?" It's true. Beyond what our ancestors made or crafted, they created community. One that was at times unique and periodically uncomfortable. That community, this community, is collectively ours. And the History Center is responsible with ensuring that history is captured and shared through our 500,000 artifacts. That's three-dimensional objects, papers, books, photographs, film, and much, much more that represents all people in this county. For that reason, throughout the 7 years leading up to this day, it's 7 years, our team invited community members from all corners of the county and city to participate in decision-making, direction setting, exhibit content conversations, and much, much more. At every turn, we invited public engagement to live our tagline, "Your history starts here." Because whether your family lived here for generations or you arrived yesterday, everyone contributes to history in some fashion and to the tapestry that is York County. It is our honor and privilege to ensure that that history is captured, cataloged, and shared in perpetuity. This groundbreaking continues the path charted 7 years ago to create a sustainable, engaging, community-oriented place that offers residents and tourists alike a destination where history inspires critical thinking, reflection, while also surprising and delighting visitors. Beyond experiences, the new museum, library, and archive provides museum-quality exhibit and storage areas. Eventually, we will have 2 changing exhibit galleries, a multi-purpose room featuring the mighty Tannenberg organ, a small cafe-style area, maybe we'll have ice cream there, and a gathering space in the lobby, all of which make the History Center well-positioned for accreditation, a designation important to secure federal grants and instill confidence in our work. Indeed, being located adjacent to the Colonial Complex and the York County Rail Trail behind me offers numerous advantages for our organization and for our community, creating a readily identifiable destination proximate to retail, restaurants, the ballpark, Keystone Kid Space, and a myriad of other community assets will continue to bolster York City's revitalization. The county will also benefit from extensive connections embedded in the exhibit, encouraging guests to visit other historical organizations and sites. Along the way, a few individuals bravely advanced this transformative project, understanding the value of changing and right-sizing. And I want to thank them. Rob Kinsley and I had a breakfast probably 8 years ago, and I think you had banana pancakes, if I remember. And he was a good sport, and he actually caught the vision and attached himself to my hip, or I attached myself to him for many years in trying to figure out what made sense. Tom Shorb was tremendously helpful as the board chair. It was under his leadership that we bought the steam plant building. And Patty Rooney, talk about a pusher. Patty Rooney really helped carry this forward as well. He would go to every meeting, he would present, he would meet with people, and he would ask for assistance. I'm grateful to all three and to the boards of directors, so we've gone through many board members up to this date, for their willingness to carry this vision forward. Together with co-chairs Tony Campisi and Joe Crosswhite, we have been prepared to transform, or we are prepared to transform this building. And we're so grateful to all of you for your vision and your support. So now carrying this steam plant forward is a hard-working, diligent team dedicated to delivering this project during an environment unlike any of us experienced in recent memory. I know that, Tyler, you acknowledged a lot of folks. I can't thank you all enough for being flexible, willing to work with us, helping us at every turn for everything that we've bumped into along the way. And there have been a few things. Pits, tunnels, to name a few. So I want to thank Greg Koussis and Fred Cluck from Capital Construction Management, Tyler, Sean, George, Cynthia from Lewis, Aaron and Don from Warehouse, Bob and Brian from Barton. All of you have helped carry this forward and will continue to do so, which I'm very, very grateful for. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the people who were doing the experiential side of the exhibits, and that's PRD, Richard Lewis Media Group, Mark Thomas from On Track Themes, and Phase Shift. This moment is incredibly meaningful for all of us involved in the History Center. We are immensely grateful to everyone in this community who understands the power that history and culture offers, and for investing in a transformative project that changes how we connect with the past to inform the future. Thank you is just a small, poignant phrase that illustrates our profound gratitude for your help. Your generosity has allowed us to break ground today. We are grateful. We're grateful to Governor Wolf for not one but two RACP awards, and to our state legislators, especially Stan Saylor, who really took all of those phone calls, and there were several, to help get this project over the finish line, and for guiding us during challenging times. We are extraordinarily grateful to our community-minded local foundations, incredibly generous individual donors, and so many more that offered support. And will continue to do so as we strive to raise, as Tony noted, the last $3 million. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making this day, this project happen. We are grateful.